Najee.
This is what Najee happened. Okay, so today we're talking about merch. So I have Najee Talks merch, just my normal logo for sale. You know what I'm saying? We got the link in the description. We got mugs, we got shirts, I got hoodies and sweaters. You're gonna see me wearing these from continuing on. May not be in these certain episodes coming up, earlier ones, but as they go on and as I do my mid-week rants, you will see them. And so, if you would like to purchase them, please, it's a description. The link will be in the description, and please support as much as you can. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. This is Najee, and this is Najee Talks Mid-Weekly Rant. So this week, I will be talking about. It's the third installment of it, third week. We're going to be talking about the difference of African and African American versus Black culture. Okay, so growing up in Compton, California, I didn't have much. It really wasn't like a lot of like African American, Africans are like second generation, third generation African Americans in my community growing up, but then. When I went to King Drew, my high school, there was a lot more Africans and, second generation African Americans. But it's just I didn't know because it wasn't a thing that I grew up under. So, it was just like blacks and Hispanics and, I can't think of something. Like Pacific Islanders and stuff. But anyway, so those were the main ones. So it's like no one was like. Within the black people, no one was separated. It wasn't like you're this, you're that. It's the black people. Everybody was the same black. But it wasn't any difference. Nobody was pointed out. So, like I said, but then we got into high school. I mean, they were there, but like I said, I didn't recognize them because I didn't know. I was ignorant. And then when I got into college at Tuskegee University, I met a lot more Africans and African Americans, and they would explain to me the difference in cultures and such. So that made me understand things more, and so I became of course more awoke about the situation and the difference of the two. And then also I took a history class at Tuskegee that taught me about just more so. Why there is more leaning towards it being a difference in the mindset of the African Americans and Africans and blacks, because they were saying that it was when the Africans would come to the States, they were taught our culture and taught not to basically blend, I guess mix with us in a way, I guess. It's it was back in the day when the slaves were free, but then they were so the slaves were able to work, but then they were also working with the poor white people too. They were in the same level, but then what happened was the white people helped the poor white people, and then when they did that, those poor white people felt better than the blacks that worked. And so at first they were going to work together against the higher ups, but then what happened was they took those poor white people, made them feel different and better than the blacks. So that in a way. So they make them seem it's always a difference of the two, because they're blacks and then Africans are, And so they're okay, just like how any immigrant that comes into the States, they're always gonna think differently either way. But the thing is, if it was more so, if they wouldn't have been taught that, it would have been more they came in and were okay, we're both same color, so we'll be let's work together. But and then I would have really really been bad on the those higher ups or whatever, 1% and such. But So the thing is, like, by getting them to think that we're not like them, or they're better than us or something, whatever, then they're not gonna mess with us in that way. I mean, we'll be cool and stuff, but like they'll still stick to themselves. So just like any other like migrants that come in, they're gonna stick to their own selves, their own people. Cause there's always we have every culture that's out here has a little something, and so that they have theirs too. Like they have the different African cultures. They come in, they have their own, but they all stick together and they have their own little version of this or that, whatever. So, like we ain't got no little blacks. They got a little Ethiopia though. We ain't got no little blacks though. So it's like, they'll stick to themselves and their own people and stuff. But like at the same time, like I mean, you gotta respect the fact that because they decided to come all the way out here, they're risking a lot, and they're getting away from home, and then they're like saying, okay, well, I came here for this reason, so my family can be better than I did, and so their children are gonna be the ones that are gonna end up like they should be reaping the fruit of their labor, basically in a way, like saying like, well, I worked hard to get here and worked hard to raise you and stuff, so you should be doing better, successful wise and stuff. So. And it's like, it's interesting. When I was, so then, of course, after being like, enlightened of the differences, and I also, when I came back from grad school, I had realized that a lot of my friends that were in high school with me were very Africans, or, second generation Africans, and, it was just like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, it was just kind of like eye-opening to see it, like, oh, wow, that's crazy, like, you, like, wow, like never like popped up in my mind, like I said before, but now I can see it and it makes a lot of sense, I guess. And then it's like yeah, and then when I went to so I recently went to a Ethiopian wedding. So I saw a lot of people out here from my high school. And then people, I met, through other people and stuff that I, like I said, didn't know until especially if saw them there. But I'm like, that's crazy how many are. But then, it's like, they're so cool, it don't change nothing. But then one of my homeboys I knew from high school, that I graduated with, his name was Kevin, he actually does music. And so he was just telling me how kind of like his parents kind of like, I don't know, because he's like kind of like the only one that didn't do any type of medicine. Like either medicine or medicine related type of career. So it was him choosing to go outside of the norm of his family, because they have that, they're like, okay, you're going to be either, doctor, lawyer, or engineer or something. So it's like, okay, if you don't do that, then, you kind of be on the outskirts, you're outlier. So it's like taking a risk for that, so. Oh, that's crazy. Think about just in that way. And then thinking about, because I had seen this rapper named Toby Nwigwe. Yeah, he did it was like the table concert or whatever, and it was like really cool. But he was like talking before he did the performances, and he was talking about how his mom really didn't respect what he did. Because Africans and African mother, Tiny Desk, NPR Tiny Desk. He did the NPR Tiny Desk, and so but anyway, so when he was speaking so the African mother was just like wanting him to be a certain thing. He was saying they wanted to do this, and of course she didn't rock with it, and she was like, man, like I don't know, do something. Doing type of arts and stuff, it's always risky and stuff, and it takes a while, but he took the risk and everything. He got there or whatever, but I'm sure she's proud of him now, but I'm sure there was a lot of times when she was like sitting there like, I can't believe I really did this, I really sacrificed all this so you can just do this. So, it's always, I'm sure it was very interesting, but I'm glad it came out, he came through and he was successful doing his thing. I also I've actually I've dated or just talked to some second generation Africans. I mean, we can tell the difference, like just like acting wise, because we all pretty much act American. But then the difference is like I've never seen any of them actually. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some that I do, but it's rare because I see a lot of them that that marry into their own, like their own culture. And then something like that's interesting because it's like you don't realize it until it happens. You're like, oh, that's crazy. He really was like that. Like I mean, like like okay. So it kind of makes it feel like it's two different things, Like not even just like two different tribes from Africa, but it's like more like literally two different like continents, with Africa and like America, because we are Black Americans. And so it's like it's literally like it's almost like marrying interracial or something like that. Like you're looking at it as different. Like oh you're not African. No, I'm not. So yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, I get it, makes sense though, but it is very interesting for sure. Alright, so now I'm gonna dive into the fuckery of blacks, history-wise. Okay, so let's start. Alright, so post-slavery. Alright, so you had a lot of, you had basically like the whole, oh damn, I can't think of the name, but it's like, it was just a whole system that was made, a whole bunch of laws that were made that basically like uplifted the ex-slaves and helped them get jobs and places and stuff, and it was like really, really good for them and basically made them very successful. Like a lot of places like, Black Wall Street, Tuskegee Institute, a lot of the places like that built up, what I'm saying, for great black business owners and stuff like that, whatever. So like that was amazing. Then after that, we had things like Jim Crow laws and such that fucked us over for the jobs and basically took it from under them. And then once the jobs were lost, even though we were still trying to fight hard for it for ourselves and black power and such, crack was brought into the streets. When the crack was brought into the streets, you have these black men that don't have jobs, they can't feed their families, so they're desperate, and so it's either they're going to become drug dealers, to provide for their family again, because that's what they were used to doing, was providing for their family. Now that they can't, now they're kind of like, okay, well, this is the only thing that I can do now, and it's just a lot more easier since I can't get a regular job. That, or they'll actually just go and just be drug addicts. So one or the other. And then the downside to that is, there was the whole war on drugs. So it's funny because they brought the drugs and then fought against it. And then when doing the war on drugs, they basically made it to where the drugs were kind of like a lot worse off than doing something worse off. Like how just like some like simple drugs can be worse than murder or something like that, whatever. And just having it can be worse than murder for black people. And so, so the blacks are basically incarcerated for those reasons. And then once they incarcerated them, and based on the drug dealers were either gonna be in jail or dead. And then, and then if the ones that weren't doing drugs, they were probably drug addicts. And so the thing is, so now you have these households with no fathers, because the fathers are either dead in jail or strung out. And then even if they're strung out, and if there ain't even in the house, but the thing is like, it's not fun having a addicted family member, especially the father in the house. It's gonna mess up things badly. Like you're not gonna have a healthy family with that. And then so basically when you're having this, father's not in the house, you're just not mentally there, So the sons are just leaving. Well, not leaving, but more so going back into the streets. And like they're either gonna end up, they're probably gonna end up going like back to selling drugs so they can raise money for their mom, not their wife, their mom or their grandma or something like that, sisters, brothers, like their family, but not not like the wife and children's thing, like the father was, but it's the other way around, since the father's not there, and the father's not there to tell him not to do it or whatever. And even if it is, he probably telling him to do the same shit. But anyways, it's a bad influence. And then so, then you hang around, all these negative influencers. You know what I'm saying? Get involved in the wrong things, possibly join a gang and such. You know what I'm saying? And then dealing the drugs and stuff. Then when you're dealing the drugs, you create more addicts with the drugs, provide more possible deaths from it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and then then it's just like a cycle just continues. With all that and everything. It's just like, man. Okay, and then so like, all right, so now we're in a day and age where we have, it's like we have people that are gonna be. I mean, we're really trying to find ourselves now. Like, it's like, all right, so I mean, for us, since we were as slaves, we lost our own culture. So when we lost our culture, they gave us some fiction. So now we don't know who we are. And so when we don't know who we are, now we're confused. And so it makes shit worse. Because when we're trying to fight for other things, it's kind of hard because we can't even like have a strong foundation to fight off of, because we don't even have a foundation at all to fight off of. Especially if our foundation is based off the people we're fighting against. Yeah, so it's like, we're like, yeah, like the Bible is telling us that we should be slaves. Right, of course. And now we're submissive because of it, and we're afraid we think that we're scared, thinking, oh, God this, the God that, or whatever. And then when we're trying to fight against these people that did that to us, it's still in our minds, like we're still mentally messed up from it. It's really, really sad. But we're really trying to fight against all that. We're trying to go against the grain of it, and we have the Nation of Islam, we have the Black Israelites, we have the Moorish Americans. So they're all really trying to do, just guide in a different way, because it's the ways that we were, because technically Moorish Americans and the Nation of Islam are both Muslims, and so you think about that, then it's they kind of both are kind of coming from the same little mutual ground, but the thing is, at the same time, all three of them are so different the same day. I mean, at the same time, because the Black Israelites use the Bible, so the other two will not use the Bible. They both use the Quran. So you got, but the thing is, two different types of Qurans. Because I've read the Moorish American one, and it's different than the Nation of Islam one. And so it's so many different views on things that changes things up a lot. And then when they got you see them wearing their different things and stuff, we're talking the different stuff. It's really just. It just sucks, because we really want to belong, but it's hard for us to find a place to belong to if we don't even know who we are coming from. It's the worst thing. So one of the things about this, because I never had to deal with this before, because I was around a lot of Black people, so no one ever had the reason to even talk about these things. But now I'm in grad school, so I'm around the different ethnicities. And so we're talking to, a lot of people talk about where they're from, their family and stuff. And I'm just I don't know. The farthest I can go is literally in the States. I can say Tennessee, and that's pretty much it. And I know I have a tie to my family, but that's not even, we don't even talk about that. So it's really just it's really kind of sad just sitting there someone that doesn't know how far, doesn't have anywhere far to go, because everybody else has lineage to talk about, because they hear about it, that maybe just go there, see family. We ain't got that. We just the first we got is somewhere in the States most likely. But we also have people that are like I said, but black wives, so we have, because you can't really so mostly, so it's just black wives just there. But we have people that, I don't really know if I want to put islanders in there, but more so just that, and just so even when we want to compare the different types of mothers, so we have the second generation African mothers, and then you have the Black mothers, right? So they're always gonna be, it's more so the expectations of the Black mothers are get out of the hood, go to college, and just pretty much it. I mean, not saying like, but it's just like, I don't know, it depends though. I couldn't say like, because my mom was different for sure, but like I was raised by my great aunt, so generation gap. So of course she's gonna have a different mindset than a regular mother would have, because it's not like she wasn't a mother that was caught up in the socialization of the drugs at that time of our parents. Cause I know my mother, she had it heavy. I heard the stories and such, and so I would doubt. I'm pretty sure it's been really bad having her as a mom, but like my great aunt though, cause she didn't deal with that shit. I mean, I know she had, everybody has a history and stuff, but by the time she was raising us, me and Dom, she was like done with it already by that time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she already got that life out, and like now she's like, all right, yeah, you're getting your shit together now. Like, I'm gonna make sure you're doing your thing. You're getting out, you're getting your thing, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. She was always there to do that. So I think I'm blessed that I had someone like that to push me, because it feels like a different situation. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have worked out like that. But normally, why? It's just generation, like our parents' generation. Because like they really like was like, because it's like how we are nowadays with certain drugs. Like it's cool, socialized stuff, whatever. Like Molly's and Xans and shit like that, whatever. But for like, our parents was like, crack and, cocaine and, stuff like that. And that was their social drug. So our social drug, everybody has their own, I guess. But like, they just kind of messed us up. Like that's where the whole ADD, ADHD thing came in. You know what I'm saying? So, that was only created from them doing the drugs, and then us being created from it. Because it genetically fucked them up and fucked us up. And that's why we have such a weird, that's why our generation is so weird, everybody believes. But we're smart as fuck. Anyways, another thing, last thing was just, so I've realized that blacks are appropriating like African American culture, like which is like certain things, like like kind of like wearing certain things, especially if you don't know what it is and what you're wearing and stuff. Because I actually used to make kids cloth bow ties, but I don't now, because I'm not about to be over here out here doing all the t-shirts and stuff, because I'm not like that committed into it right now to do it, like to sell them and stuff. Like if I was really committed, I would probably do the research and like explain it to people, but I'm not. So I'm just wearing them here and there, like sell a few whatever people want, but like that's not enough for me to like be like, all right, I'm gonna do all the research and make sure things are legit with it. Because I know each pattern needs something specific, which makes sense to me. I even used to wear, because I had a few kid off, shirts and stuff, whatever, but I kind of just don't really feel like it's like, I feel like it's like, because I have a friend of mine, Khadijah, that was talking to me about it, and she was explaining, she was explaining the corporation thing, and I was like, that makes sense. Like I said, because we're trying to find a way, whatever. But if we don't really understand fully what everything is, then it kind of makes. Because she was saying, if you gotta understand what you're wearing, it's cool. So I can respect that for sure. And it's like I'm not like riding, riding and stuff like that, heavy. Maybe occasion, like if it's like like a Kwanzaa or something like that, I might wear it on a day. That's pretty much it. But yeah, that's the gist of everything. Thank you all for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching the episode. Before you go, please subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications. Because I know you don't want me to continuously send you DMs and text messages every week. Instead, you just get notifications every time I upload an episode Sundays, and then when I upload my midweekly rants on Wednesdays. Thank you and have a good day.